Call our meeting to order. Good morning. It is now 11:01 a.m. on the 22nd day of October in the year 2025. And the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission for the State of New Mexico will come to order. Executive Director, can you confirm that we are publicly streaming and recording? All right. And you'll admit all the members of the public that seek admission over the virtual link for us?
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. I don't see the secretary online, so I'll call the roll for us. Commissioner Dabney. Judge Lambert. Commissioner Melia. State Treasurer Laura Montoya or designee Christina Naya.
Good morning and present.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. PRC Commission Chair Gabriel Aguilera or Commissioner McLee Carroll designee.
Present. Apologies for being late.
All right, that's present. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver or designee Commissioner Sharon Pino. Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
Present.
Commissioner Rothini. Commissioner Stone.
Present.
Commissioner Traub.
New command.
Vice Chair Williams.
Control plus.
Present.
Just take me a little bit.
Commissioner Umi.
Present.
And the chair is present. So with that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 commissioners present. We do have a quorum and we'll proceed to establish quorum. And also next item of the agenda is approval of the agenda. So I'll ask if there's unanimous consent for approval of today's agenda. Hearing no objection, the agenda is approved. We also next have approval of the minutes from August 15th, 2025 is the next item on the agenda. And that was circulated to all the commissioners before this meeting. Is there unanimous consent to approve the minutes from August 15th, 2025? Hearing no objection, the minutes are approved.
Chairman,
Oh, Madam Treasurer.
because some of us are online, I believe you have to do the voice vote, and this one I will abstain.
I'm sorry, Madam Treasurer, could you repeat that?
I believe because there are several of us who are online, we're not all in the same meeting room. We're supposed to do a vote by individual name. And if that is the case, I need to abstain from the vote for the minutes because I was not at the last meeting.
Okay. Are you objecting to the unanimous consent procedure, Madam Treasurer?
I'm not necessarily objecting. I'm just stating that I believe that the rule is that if we're going to do it through online process, that we're supposed to do it by a vote, by each name.
Is that a matter of state law or Robert's rules?
I believe it's part of the state rules for the process of allowing for online voting after COVID.
Okay, this is a good opportunity for me to introduce Mr. Chris Harrington, who is newly assigned to the commission from the Department of Justice. Mr. Harrington is here with us today and is here to give us counsel. Mr. Harrington, it would be nice in the interest of efficiency if we were able to approve things by unanimous consent, but we don't want to violate any rules that apply to hybrid proceedings. So we would like to defer to you for any advice you have for us on whether we're able to do this.
Okay. I mean, I think it would make it cleaner to have a roll call on the votes. Just because of the fact that you are on the virtual and people here. But I'd have to research further. I don't know, I remember anything specifically in the open meetings act. But again, most other commissions and boards do a roll call for votes.
Oh, okay. Well, we kind of recently changed our bylaws to save us from having to do a roll call on every single vote. And on sort of these more routine minor votes, like approval of the agenda and approval of the minutes, That is why I'm asking for unanimous consent. On more substantive items, welcome, Commissioner. Okay, good to see you. On some,
I went downstairs, I'm like, I don't know none of y'all.
so on some of these, more, technical routine items, I thought unanimous consent could help us move things along faster. But I think we may have to go back to our normal practice, and we're gonna do roll calls. Mr. Secretary, I'm very happy that you're here, because I'm hopefully have called my last roll call for today when, doing the initial one. Let's go back. We're gonna go back to, approval of the agenda, item number 4, and, we'll do that by roll call. Is there a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved. Commissioner Robinson, so moved.
Commissioner Robinson moves for approval of the agenda. Is there a second?
I second.
Commissioner Umi seconds. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Secretary to call the roll.
Commissioner Joseph Dabney. Okay. Judge Tammy Lambert. Commissioner Hazel Mella. State Treasurer Laura Montoya, or her designee, Commissioner Christine.
Abstain, please.
PRC designee, Commissioner Mackley Carroll. Say yes, approve. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, or her designee, Commissioner Sharon Pino. Okay, Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Raffini.
Yes.
Commissioner Stone.
Abstain.
Commissioner Traub. Vice Chair Williams.
I have to abstain. I was not there.
Okay. Commissioner
So
Umi.
just to clarify, this is a vote on approval of the agenda.
We're back to the very first one.
We're back to item number 4, approval of the agenda.
I thought we were at the.
We thought we were on the.
Yeah, we're voting on the agenda, so if you weren't there, that's okay. You might still be able to vote on the agenda. Vice Chair?
I'll approve. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's a yes vote for the Vice Chair. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Anthony Umi.
For approving the minutes, yes.
The agenda,
For approving the agenda,
yes.
Yes, and
yes.
Chair Little V. West.
Yes, to approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
just change my vote to yes for the approval of the agenda.
Okay,
Commissioner Chairman, Secretary Curl, I have changed my vote to yes as well.
all right.
Okay, so that's a yes for Commissioner Stone. And who was speaking before Commissioner Stone? I'm sorry.
That was the treasurer.
Okay,
State Treasurer Montoya changed her vote to yes for approval of the agenda.
okay, so there's no abstentions, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yeses. The agenda is approved.
Very good. Now for approval of the minutes. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes from August 15th, 2025?
I move to approve the minutes.
Commissioner Umi moves to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I second it. Oscar Robinson.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Robinson, for the second. And is there any discussion? I think there was a typo in the minutes, actually, now that I think about it. I think it referred to Commissioner Rothini as secretary. So we should just fix that. So just that one minor amendment. And will you accept that, Commissioner Umi? That one change?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Secretary call a roll on the amended motion.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph Dabney. Judge Tammy Lambert. Commissioner Hazel Mella. State Treasurer Laura Montoya.
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, PRC designee, Commissioner Mackley Carroll. I approve, yes. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, or her designee, Commissioner Pino. Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Commissioner Raffini. Commissioner Raffini.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Commissioner Brandy Stone.
Abstain.
Abstain. Commissioner Traub. Okay. Vice Chair Williams.
Abstain.
Commissioner Anthony Umi.
This is for approval of the minutes from August 15, 2025.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, and Chair West.
Yes.
Okay. So there's 3 abstain. And
Hold on, just a second. Whoever's testing the fire alarm, could you mute yourself or tell us who you are? Okay,
okay,
So-
so that's in terms of approval of the minutes, that's 3 abstains and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 yeses. The minutes are
Okay.
approved.
the minutes are approved. Very good. And it takes us to our next item, number 6, public comment. Is there anyone who wishes to provide public comment to us today? In person or online? If you're online and would like to make public comment, you can unmute yourself and say so, or raise a hand. Hearing none, seeing none. We move on to the next item. Item number 7, the Dr. King minute. Vice Chair, I think our last discussion on this was that you might present the Dr. King minute today. Are you ready for that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you, everybody. My name is Constance Williams. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. And last week I was listening to the closing arguments of the Supreme Court case that is being listened to regarding Section 2 of the Civil Rights Act. And I thought it was very, very interesting. The closing was succinct and very impactful for me. And so it made me start thinking more about the history of the Civil Rights Act. And so I just wanted to take a little bit of time to encourage you all to, take your own journey into looking at this. Back in 1866, the Civil Rights Act was enacted, which essentially granted citizenship, but not rights to vote for native-born Americans. So Native Americans, were not acknowledged in the original 1866 Civil Rights Act. And so in 1869, the 15th Amendment was passed, and the 15th Amendment is the amendment that allows for African American men right to vote in the country. And so that's 1869. I thought it was very interesting to see that in 1896, Louisiana, who is the plaintiff, I guess you would say, within this current Supreme Court case, that they actually had grandfather clauses. And, I've heard about that in terms of, being allowed to participate in programs that, you basically have some sort of a right to have current laws not necessarily apply to you because of that grandfather status. But essentially, Louisiana in 1896 passed the grandfather clauses to keep former slaves and their descendants from voting. As a result, registered Black voters dropped from 44.8% in 1896 to 4% of voters at that time. So that was a really huge policy impact. And ultimately, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, and Virginia followed Louisiana's lead by enacting their own grandfather cases. So just knowing that brief history and the more than 200 years since then, or excuse me, 200 years, 100 and plus years since then, I think that everybody should take the time to really look at the importance of voting rights, what Dr. King did to push voting rights forward for us in 1965, and the the fact that a lot of people did not like that. And then ultimately how in 2006, the Bush administration reauthorized the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and how, mere 20 years later, we are at a point where people are trying to take away very important clauses or very important statutes within the Civil Rights Act. So if you look at Section 2 of the Civil Rights Act, it essentially allows or does not allow for people who are in decision-making positions to be able to utilize race in their decision-making decisions as it relates to voting. So the closing arguments of the Supreme Court hearing essentially said that the mere neutering of Section 2 of the Civil Rights Act will essentially reduce the 15th Amendment to a parchment promise. I thought that was very, very important, and I think we all should be paying attention, because civil rights acts, policies, all of that stuff really can only be forged and looked at in that space and time. And we know that historically the United States has not allowed for voting rights of everybody, and there have been laws put in place to allow for that, and there are times and people and places who are trying to attack that as well. So please take your time, take a moment to look at the Civil Rights Act of 1965, the historical policies that led to that, and the current actions that are happening that should be decided in the next few weeks as it relates to civil rights and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. I know that was more than a minute, but thank you.
They were very important minutes, Vice Chair. Thank you for bringing that very thorough and thoughtful and insightful information analysis perspective to us. It is a very timely, and it's something that we have to keep at the top of our minds and in front of our faces, because we know that things are changing rapidly as it pertains to civil rights. And this ties into just a reminder for everyone that the executive director, I know, is diligently working on arranging and coordinating for the civil rights teach-in, which is 1 week from today, right here at APAC at 6 p.m. And so I believe that, this is likely to be the subject of discussion amongst several other important civil rights related topics that we all need to be informed about. That's for sure. Any other thoughts on the Dr. King minute for today?
I was just wondering, what provisions are under attack under that 65 Act?
Vice Chair, the specific provisions that were challenged in that case?
Currently, Section 2 of that, and it was a really interesting debate, 4.5 hours going back between the state of Louisiana and the government. And so look up Section 2. There's a lot of coverage with it. And like I said, it is going to be decided in the next few weeks.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the Executive Director's report and presentation. So Executive Director, you're recognized.
Good morning, commissioners and guests. And here is my October Executive Director report. I'll jump right into it. I thought I was done with hours of training, but I was not. Added on 2 more hours. I did complete the records information management training. The records information management training, my upcoming tasks of continuing to take inventory of commissioned property, of our storage that is located here at APAC, as well as office. I'm enrolled in the nonviolence training course. It's an 18-hour course. I'm diligently working to complete it. It will be a slow and steady course that I'm taking. I'm still awaiting participants from the New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions. We'll talk about that later. My one referral was not eligible. In November, I am looking to do some in-person training with the team from the Arkansas MLK Commission. Next steps, I'm continuing on my Sundays of service with my traveling and other demands. Kind of paused in October, but I will be resuming, continuing to expand the Beloved Community Network. which I have a QR code today for you all to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and then expanding our beloved community newsletter. So from our strategic plan, there were some of the respondents had ideas for the newsletter to have subsections, so like a general newsletter, maybe a Coretta's Corner that goes out, maybe we highlight what our commissioners are up to in a separate newsletter, etc. And then this is the financial update that you received. This is the same figures that you got in the spreadsheet report. You'll see here that we have, sorry, there's a dialog box in my way. For our 200 category remaining, we have $220,859.57. 300 category, which is contractual services, we have $124,694 remaining. For other services, we have $158,071.30 for remaining total in our budget for this fiscal year, $503,624.87. Moving on, these are all of our current encumbrances. You might have questions as to why some are still not fully vouchered from our last time you received a financial update. And that is because I am waiting on invoices from some of our vendors and suppliers. I can't move forward on vouchering these encumbered amounts until I get the invoices for them and can process them and share. So I'm doing follow-ups with these different entities to get those invoices from them and get these encumbrances completely vouchered and closed. Yes.
May I?
Commissioner Rotini?
Yes, just question. What is Paradise Travel?
Paradise Travel is the travel agent. So when I go to
Arkansas?
Arkansas,
Enough said.
Clovis,
And what
and
is-
Memphis.
We're good. I just wanted to make sure that was it. And what is WEX?
WEX is for the fuel for our vehicle,
Okay, and is Jack the lawyer?
the auditor.
Okay, just double check. Okay, we're good.
These are all of the expenditures thus far for this fiscal year, and I've only pulled from the 300 and 400 category. The 200 category is our personnel line, which is the salary and benefits for myself. You'll see we had our professional services from the statewide community meeting. We have paid one invoice of our audit services. There is some mileage and some of the mileage from when I had to travel to Clovis and wasn't able to use the commission card. I had gotten my fuel card, as well as lodging, board member, the board member fee as well. The cost of our, here's the cost of our 2024 Dodge Durango, which you probably saw on your way in here. And I am currently still, there's actually ACT for hours at 1 p.m. and I'm going to pop out of here and pop in there to ask them what ISD services are. Because when I pull the chart of accounts, there's not a description and I just need to know what that is.
It's not income support division?
That's what I am familiar with in ISD being in the state, but I don't know why they would be charging us that.
Is somebody else online, like Champino, who can answer that question? Cause she usually knows everything.
I don't believe so.
When it comes to this stuff, yeah, is she
I
online?
don't
You
think
know who we probably could ask? We're gonna hear from the auditors after a while, and they probably very familiar with it and have
Oh.
seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, so the auditors might know, but they may, okay.
Is that her right there? Commissioner Pino?
Now, I don't think the Secretary of State or
No.
designee is online.
So who's up with the glasses on?
Well, I'm not
Not
sure, but let's keep focused.
Printing and photo services, so paying for our printer, our rent here at APAC. I'm still waiting. We'll be expecting another installment to come out for our October through February, I believe. Subscriptions, dues, and licenses. This is a subscription to Constant Contact for our newsletter. That is from my CPO course. We paid our insurance premium. And then the miscellaneous expenses is coming from different funding proposals that have been provided to community organizations, which we'll also talk about right now. So speaking of funding proposals, our funding proposal format has changed. If you're referring to organizations, to take it. I can't see who, oh, it's. I think it's muted now. Our funding proposal format has changed. So per the one pager that was given to the legislators during the last session, we now have a Living the Dream funding request that is specifically for organizations requesting for supporting for their programming. And it must have some tie to advancing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s commission. If you have an opportunity to visit our website, look at the funding proposal form, you'll see that it asks for how they're specifically going to be highlighting Dr. King, his philosophy, his teaching. If the program is a namesake, what is it called? And how their participants are being connected to his legacy. Then we have our Building Bridges sponsorship request. So this is we get a lot of requests where some organizations just want us to come, set up a table, be present, or they want our name in the program. They want our logo listed as a sponsor during the program, featured somewhere. That request is different. So you can request from the commission to take advantage of a sponsorship package that your organization might have for a specific event or for the year, whatever may have you. And that is what that request is for. We currently have 2 pending proposals. One is from Grant Chapel AME for the MLK commemorative breakfast, and the second is from the Mexico Black Center of Excellence for supporting their youth program.
The what?
Commissioner Robinson, their youth programming. Commissioner Robinson, can you hear me?
Yes,
Would you mind muting for me, please?
we're muted.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Moving from funding proposals, we have our reversion. The reversion was submitted on time by the September 30th deadline, with the final total being $25,357.49. That is about a 28% decrease from fiscal year 2024. Auditor status, I'll be brief because can I yield to the auditor? Or do you want me to wait?
Yeah, we have them on the next item on the agenda, so
All right.
we'll come to them.
I'll be brief, but so far we've provided 47 items. 23 of the items that were asked for were not applicable. The first invoice was processed. We do have 6 pending items. I need some further clarification on 3 out of those 6 items, which we're setting up a meeting with them to either go over those items that I need to provide, or I also requested for some written instruction so that I can ensure that I'm providing the accurate documentation. Program manager, we were hiring. It has been a process. We had 20 applicants. From the 20, I interviewed 15, and then I came down to a single candidate to select. They have been given a verbal offer, so I won't share today, and I'm still waiting for them to confirm, but they will be hired. I'm 99% confident.
Are we allowed to see the list of who applied?
Yeah, I think that commissioners should be able to see the list. Executive Director, your thoughts?
Sure, during this public meeting?
Not
No,
now.
absolutely not.
Okay, yes. Staff and intern update. So I had been awaiting an appointment from the Department of Workforce Solutions since I've shared with you all that I made that request. I asked how I can market that we are accepting, or that we're a partner and that you can come work at the commission through the wage subsidy program. They don't necessarily allow that, and they offered to table at our events or to give me more flyers. I don't see that yielding a participant. But I'm gonna keep working because it's still something we can take advantage of, but I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna get people in there. Because of that, I'm recommending to the commission that we become a Public Allies partner in that program offered by the UNM Community Engagement Center, which you received information on that from Chair West, and it's on the agenda later today. Just a brief overview. The benefit of the Public Allies program is that they do training with the individuals that you hire, and we would not have to do some of that training. And some of it is on some soft skills like writing your resume, building SMART goals, but they also do some things, some anti-racism training, how to be an impactful member of the community, how to leverage certain spaces in the community. So I believe that it would be beneficial to take advantage of that because it would increase our capacity to have well-trained hirees, and we would then be partnered into this program. Yes,
I see CEC. Is that CEC that UNM?
yes, the UNM Community Engagement Center.
How many Black students do they have in their program?
That is an excellent question. Can I refer to Dr. Stone?
So they have a lot of different types of cohorts, public allies, I'm not sure how many. Does it matter if they're Black?
Does it matter if it's Black? Yes and no. No, because we need bodies, but yes, because most of the pathways here in New Mexico are not built for Black people. And if we're gonna have be a Martin Luther King organization and not be able to hire or offer a pathway to Black kids, what's the point of even
So if
access?
you read the first page, it says 90% of youth staff and community partners are from BIPOC communities.
That's
So
not
I think
not
the
BIPOC.
likelihood of us recruiting students into the program could be high, but it is a match process that I don't know how that works.
So let's make sure we allow a person finish what they're saying, and then we'll go, and so that was, Dr. Stone, you finished? Executive Director.
Commissioner Ruthini, I'm still strongly connected to the students at the University of New Mexico. And I believe that if it is a priority of the commission to have a Black student take advantage of this program, I'm confident that I could do that, or any other student that we might want to have. Homecoming just passed. I just met a whole bunch of bright young leaders to take advantage. Treasurer Montoya has her hand up.
Okay, State Treasurer Montoya.
Thank you, Ms. Chairman, Director. For me to better understand, you referred to Dr. Stone for something that Rufini asked for. Is it tied to Dr. Stone's personal capacity, or what? I don't understand where the connection is or why.
I refer to Dr. Stone because the Public Allies Program is offered by the UNM Community Engagement Center. Commissioner Ruthini asked how many Black students are participating in that program. Dr. Stone serves as the special advisor to the UNM's president on Black students and is the director of the Black Cultural Center and would have a better preview. Even though I was previously there, I no longer have I don't know the current numbers.
Got it. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, Treasurer. Good question. Okay. Any other question on that point? Otherwise, I know the Executive Director has more in her report.
All right.
I did have another question not related to that, if that was the end of the report.
I don't think she's reached the end yet. Executive Director.
I think you said it did. Sorry.
Not yet. Contracting updates. So last meeting, part of the motion for getting the records management contract was to engage with our records management division. It was great to do that because the commission needed to update our records management plan and name a records manager. It was determined at that meeting that some of the services that I'm requesting through New Bay cannot be provided by the records management division. But New Bay is in the statewide pricing agreement and they work closely with the records management division. When we got on the call, she automatically knew who I was talking about. And they even encouraged that we invite records management into our conversations with New Bay to ensure that I can take advantage of resources offered by records management division and compare and contrast what can be offered by records management division versus what can be offered by New Bay and find the in-between for what's best and for where it's best in managing the commission's records. So I am happy about that and we'll be following up with New Bay on the updated proposal that they're working on. That's within the expenditure that was approved previously. For the CFO contract, I was directed to engage with DFA about the mobile CFO program before I go and contract the CFO for the commission. Commissioner Montoya, Madam Treasurer Montoya, and Commissioner Nyble both have their hands up. Yes.
Sorry, no, Chairman and Executive Director, I do not. I was just clicking the button to try and see if it can be removed.
I'm trying to figure out how to remove my hand, but it won't let me even with Control Shift K, so I apologize.
No problem.
If either of you, would disregard your hands for now, but if either of you have a question, just feel free to break in and say, and we'll recognize you.
All right, so because we are looking for someone who can be ongoing, hands-on, meet regularly with our staff or me, they don't have the capacity for that. So I'm going to, they will do their training with DFA, and hopefully I can find someone who has governmental accounting background. But we will not, I don't believe engaging in the mobile CFO program is going to meet the operational support that we are looking for at this time. All right, community engagement update. So you may have noticed a pause on getting invitations to community events in October. That is due to the demands of our hiring. I did not update the spreadsheet in October with events, and I apologize for that. But in addition to the spreadsheet, in the event that there is some other high demand event like January Dream Week, I would encourage you to make sure that you're following the commission on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at MLKJRC, and subscribe to the commission's newsletter. I would prefer that commissioners know about things not from social media, but in the event that my time becomes taken from me, those are some areas where you can find different community events that we're reposting that get sent to us in a quick way. And this link will also be sent out. I'll make sure the secretary has it. Updates on the conferences I attended. So I did have the privilege of attending the first National MLK Commissions Conference hosted by the Arkansas MLK Commission, which is under the leadership of Dr. Deshaun Scarborough. And that commission is recognized by Dr. Bernice King as the most active commission in the nation. The conference was, I don't know. I don't even know if I could I put it into words on here and y'all could read it. But it was amazing. Nothing short of amazing. Arkansas was very welcoming, and they are top tier with their operations at that commission. And I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to be there and observe and to learn. And they actually gave me an award, which was great. I got a Trailblazer Award. And above all that, I don't know if y'all know who Lil Romeo is. Y'all probably know who Master P is. Lil Romeo is his son, and I got to meet him. I sure did. And he's an MLK ambassador. No kidding. He sure is, for the Arkansas MLK Commission. But anyways, aside from that, I got to visit some of the civil rights monuments that they have there. So I got to go to the home of Daisy Gadsden Bates, who was invited to Little Rock 9. Got to go to Little Rock Central High School. Got to meet the governor of Arkansas. Got to hear about some of the great work that they're doing. And it really sparked some different ideas on what we could be doing here in New Mexico. So that trip was nothing short of amazing. I'm looking forward to continuing to engage with the Arkansas MLK Commission, but also the commission. They're either commissions or they're committees, but in Ohio, Nevada, Oklahoma, Florida. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. All right. In addition to that, I attended the annual conference of the Association of Black Sociologists. Now, the point of going, there were kind of two goals of going to that conference, and that was one, to engage with some educators. Some of them are educators, some of them are students, some of them are collegiate administrators on how they are approaching different areas of work in today's climate. So I wanted to engage with some of the best, basically, on scholar activism. That's going to be a key component of our youth ambassador program and any engagement that we do with the youth. So I wanted to learn from the best, but it was held in Memphis, Tennessee, which is the site of the National Civil Rights Museum, which sits at the Lorraine Motel. and I had a transformative experience of visiting that museum, which actually ends at room 306, where Dr. King spent his last day. So that was an excellent visit. And also the third purpose, I guess I should say, was to see if that would be a feasible option for the commission's alternative spring break for our youth ambassadors. And I'm actually connecting with their team, having a follow-up meeting to continue to discuss how we can bring that to fruition. All right. I was
We
gonna,
just pause
yes.
and say congratulations. I am so
Thank
happy.
you. Thank
You are living the dream, literally. So many Black people in America wish they had. Congrats. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. It was a very humbling experience to stand in that space and where his work stopped and where I picked up. This is from the Legislative Finance Committee. This is the hearing. I was gonna tell y'all about it, but I could just show you exactly what happened. Oh, is it not gonna play? Well, great. Now I have to tell you about it because my video is not gonna play. But I went to our hearing down in Santa Fe on the 15th. It lasted all of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. They didn't have any specific questions about our budget request. The chair asked me how the workload is for such a small agency. So that was the only question that we got. We'll be heading back to the Roundhouse during legislative session. The Civil Rights Teach-In. All right, so taking place, as the chair said, October 29th, that is a Wednesday at 6 p.m. The program will feature 3 presentations. So we'll have the History of Civil Rights in the United States by Professor Marcia K. Hardiman. If you don't know who Professor Marcia K. Hardiman is, that means you never took an African Studies class at UNM, and maybe you should think about taking one ad hoc or something, I don't know. The second is going to be Justice by Algorithm, Criminal Justice and Artificial Intelligence by Professor Sonia Gibson Rankin, who again is a professor at the University of New Mexico School of Law. And then we will have a State of Civil Rights by the ACLU of New Mexico. And their director, Leon Howard, will be a part of that presentation as well. There are some other components that I wanted to share of the Civil Rights Teach-In. So I know we have a lot of community members who have little ones, and we just want to find creative ways to engage youth during our programming. A Civil Rights Teach-In that isn't necessarily something that youth are probably flocking to go to in the age range that I've listed there. So we are going to use this classroom upstairs here at APAC just to have some interactive and engaging activities for the youth to do while the teach-in is taking place. So participants have the option to send their kids upstairs if they'd like, or they can keep them with them in the auditorium. And then the classroom that is downstairs is going to be organized to highlight different community resources. So on the RSVP, I allowed community members to list if they have a community resource, and we're going to set that room up to do some resource mapping. I believe the NAACP will be here actually to offer, to get people to try to sign up to be members of the Albuquerque chapter. And then we will be live streaming the event. That flyer is actually going to drop today. We're going to live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Please RSVP on the calendar invite if you are coming in person so that I can recognize you when I do my welcome. I'll do my best to catch everyone as they're coming in and make sure I take note of it, but I don't want to miss anyone. So if you are attending in person, please RSVP on our calendar. Everyone should have that calendar invite. And then Dream Week. So it was Dream Weekend. I have made a change to do Dream Week. So traditionally, we host the commemoration here in Albuquerque. We start on that Friday. Friday is typically, I believe last year was a vigil, exploring doing the vigil again. The 17th is a Saturday. That's going to be the commemorative march here in Albuquerque. The 18th is the worship service. The 19th is the breakfast. So the days leading up to it, so the 12th through the 16th, I'm hoping to do some programming outside of Bernalillo County. So I'm currently contacting some different counties to see if they have commemorations, and it may be something small. It may not be a grand march, but we want to do some programming in those different counties during that week. And then, I've gotten several requests for t-shirts. So please expect to get a mock-up of the t-shirt within the coming weeks. And please, please, please send me some feedback. My first idea was to opt to using the design from our youth leadership conference, just because we had a smaller turnout and a lot of people liked the shirt. But I'm gonna have some other mock-ups just to have some other options. And I think this is the end. This is the end, and I will take questions.
Chairman?
Treasurer Montoya.
Hi, I do have a couple questions on a couple different subject matters you brought up. I wanted to go back to the hiring portion. Two things I heard. One, I wanted to know what the process was. Is it similar to what we do with all other positions? Is this classified or exempt? If you could remind me. And then the verbal request, I've not heard of a verbal request. I've only heard of a written request for them to sign. So if you could give me some perspective on that also.
Absolutely. So our program manager is an exempt position. I did a verbal offer. So I basically, when I have a final candidate, give them a call, and I wanted to give them some context of the commission, where we're at, what it kind of means to agree to be the program manager of the commission. Also wanted to provide an opportunity for them to ask any questions. And then once they make that confirmation, I ask them to follow up with a written confirmation. And how I've been advised by Office of the Governor, Jennifer V. Hill, who's been helping me, is that once I have a selected candidate, I'll send their resume and information to her for her to then send them the hiring paperwork.
Okay, and what was the process that you guys took for this?
Yes, so I engaged with the chair on what this process should look like. I was sent all of the documentation that you all used to hire me, and I used those same documents to move forward and to filter through candidates, to create the rubric to interview them, as well as to check their references.
Chairman and Director, I'm thinking more like, where did we advertise it? How many did we have? Then how did we get down to whatever amount? Who was on the panel for the questions? What were the questions? And then how did they move forward? Did they go directly to you afterwards for an interview, or was there only a one interview process?
Yes, there was only, oh, sorry. Were you finished?
Yes.
Yes, there was only one interview. So we had 20 applicants apply. I have a matrix that had the different qualifications for the position filtered on three, applicants were marked on 3 different levels, either weak, moderate, or strong. All the applicants who were marked as moderate or strong moved forward to an interview. I extended an invitation for those applicants to interview, and they were able to book that interview with me directly. I developed the questions based off of what I determine needs to be assessed from the applicants to meet the needs of the commission and the type of work that they could do. Upon that, I went back to the matrix, marked them again. Are their answers strong, moderate, weak? Are they going to meet the need? From there, got down to a smaller pool where I did reference checks, and based off the reference checks and all the information that I collected before, selected a final candidate.
And then the treasurer had also asked who was on the interview panel.
Yes, the interview panel was myself.
Okay. And then I know in past meetings, we talked about the importance of the CFO. You brought up the potential DFA person, them not being able to. I completely agree with you. They've made it very clear they do not have a CFO that could roam 2 different agencies because they too are short-staffed. So what is going to be the process for that? Because I think that's your most important position to be able to fill as well.
I agree with you. I believe because the contract is small, it doesn't have to go through the same process as like RFP, where you have to publicly post it for so many days and there's all these different parameters, but that doesn't mean that we can't take advantage of that same process. So what I would like to do is invite those with invite those with a accounting background or governmental accounting background to send me their resume and their, I guess, a cover letter or CV or or a cover letter or something like that to express interest in the position and then have meetings with them to see if it's a good fit. I personally want to do see if I could do like a project or simulation to see if they could do what I need them to do with the budget. But I would just be doing a call for people who are interested and then working to select a contractor.
Chairman, Director, remind me, this sounds like it's going to be coming out of the 300s. What's the amount of the contract you're looking at?
I don't have that number pulled up in front of me right now. I want to say it was around 30,000 maximum, but it's broken down, so they're getting paid monthly. So it would be less than 30,000 now because they're not starting at this beginning of the fiscal year.
So just from experience, I would say that minimal would be 60,000, and that's the max you can do for that type of contract. Just because CFOs are really hard to find right now in the state of New Mexico, and they're going for a very high dollar amount if they do have their CPA and the governmental accounting and the share knowledge. I would also just share some information with you that I wish somebody would have shared with me. There's a state purchasing agreement for talent acquisition with 2 different companies. One is called HAF, and the other one is called, I think, ATA. Christine, nod your head if I'm right. ATA?
They are, sorry, Treasurer, it's Protivity and ATA Services.
There you go. And the reason why I bring those 2 up is because they'll help you do the search, and then you pay a portion of the salary of that person to them, and it has to come out of the 300s. So worst case scenario, if you can't find someone on your own, that might be a good resource for you to do without having to go through a full entire RP process. The last thing I was going to add is you mentioned in the audit there's 6 items due. What are those 6 items, or do you prefer to wait till the auditors speak on it? And is your audit due November 1st, similar to ours?
Yes, our audit is due November 3rd, because I believe the 1st is a Saturday or something like that. Yes, it's due November 3rd. The 6 pending items are, actually, I don't know them off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but maybe the auditor can share more about that. I think they were asking for, some of it is context to previous fiscal years, and then one is check numbers tied to the purchase orders or something of that nature.
Okay, I'll just wait to ask them the questions because I think that's the most important aspect right now is trying to get that done in the next week. And you guys are a lot smaller, so it's probably just going through them directly. But sometimes, like for us, we have the auditor review 2 other people within their audit firm review everything that the primaries did for us. So it takes at least a week just to do that. So I just want to make sure we're going to be on time, and if we're not, that the commission is aware that if we're going to be late. Thank you. That was what I have. Thank you, Director. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Treasurer. Any other questions on the Executive Director's report? Dr. Stone.
Chairman, Executive Director, I just have a question. It sounds like the conference was totally fulfilling. Did you say that was the first conference they've ever hosted as commissions? So is there an opportunity for us to put a bid in for a future conference? You know, I love a good conference planning.
You know, I believe there is. I would not advise when we do that in the second year, maybe the third.
Well, bids usually are 3 years out, so I'm just curious.
Well, yes, there's an opportunity to take it to different areas. I believe it's going to return to Arkansas for the second year. Any other questions?
I would just, if they're gonna do Arkansas next year, and I know I asked you if there was a virtual participation option for the commissioners, or if we could attend, and it seemed like it wasn't for this conference, but if you could suggest that for the next one, I think it would be great if,
Yeah,
commissioners could be involved and attend and, have options to do that would be great as well. We'd like to. I know I would like to.
absolutely. Madam Vice Chair has her hand up.
Vice Chair.
Yes, just wanted to let y'all know that the speaker at the youth conference, Conscious Lee, I actually was following him on social media, I want to say last week, and he had the youth conference shirt on, and I was like, yeah. So I just wanted to let y'all know that.
Yay,
Commissioner Stone, that's all you.
thank you.
Okay, anything else on the executive director's report?
Did you bring up?
Hearing none, we press ahead. We're moving on to the auditors.
Okay.
We have, I understand we have Amanda White, who is a CPA, at the Jaramillo Accounting Group LLC. They are working on our fiscal year 25 audit, and we know we need an update on that, and we have some questions about that. So, Ms. White, if you're there, you're recognized, and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here. As mentioned, my name is Amanda Wyatt. I am an audit manager with Jaramillo Accounting Group, and happy to be speaking with you all today. As part of the kind of open meetings, the audit, due to the nature of the audit, right, it's financial information. We're not able to speak to significant details of that until the financial statements are released. However, I can give you an update on status. The deadline is November 1st, or the next following business day. So we are working toward that deadline. The audit is in process, and we do not anticipate difficulty in meeting that deadline. We've had good coordination with the team so far. So things are in process, moving along. We are nearing, obviously, the end as we approach that November 1st deadline. And we will be providing draft financial statements to relevant individuals, obviously, Executive Director Kirkman, in the coming week or so.
Thank you very much. Are there questions for Ms. Wyatt?
Mr. Chairman and Ms. Wyatt, I would like to know what are the 6 items pending?
Unfortunately, I cannot speak to those details at this time. However, they are items that I'm coordinating with Ms. Kervin, and I don't anticipate difficulty in obtaining the relevant information necessary to be able to meet the deadline at this point in time.
Thank you.
Unless you see any reason, Ms. White, why we couldn't handle it this way, I'm motivated to want a commissioner to receive whatever information they would like to have about the operations of the commission, and especially when it is the treasurer of the state of New Mexico asking about finances. Unless you have any objections to this, I'll just ask the executive director to reach out separately to the treasurer and let her know what the status is and what the items are that will be supplemented to you this week.
Certainly.
Okay, so treasurer, if that's okay with you, we'll follow up with you separately, make sure you get that answer.
I greatly appreciate that, because when you're looking at a PBC list, you might only have one item left, but sometimes that one item takes 3 weeks to get done. So I'm more particularly concerned about what the specific items are that you need. But if you are reassuring us that we're going to be on time with this, I'm very grateful, but I would like the chairman and myself to see the PBC list and the finalization of it. Thank you.
Certainly.
Yeah, we'll see to that, treasurer. Thank you. Commissioner Stone.
I just wanted to disclose to the commission that over the summer, executive director had hired student leaders through the New Mexico Office of African American Affairs Black Student Alliance. 2 of those student leaders happen to be my sisters. Obviously, I don't live with them. I didn't know until I showed up to to the, what was the event?
The statewide
The
community.
statewide community meeting. And so I just wanted to disclose that they received pay via their status as Black Student Alliance members who, how many students make up that? Like,
Currently, I don't know their current roster.
I think there was like 15 students across the state of New Mexico who make up that alliance.
Thank you, Dr. Stone, for that disclosure. Is there any questions about that? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Wyatt, do you have any questions or any additional comments for us? Otherwise, I think that we might be done with your presentation.
Wonderful. I do not have any additional comments. Please feel free to communicate with me if any questions or concerns do arise, and we'll continue plugging away with the intention of meeting that deadline, barring any unanticipated items arising over the next week and a half. Thank you all very much.
Well, thank you for all your hard work. I have seen that you've been diligently working and appreciate you, have it in mind to meet that deadline. That's important to us. So we appreciate that too. And thank you for being here. Thanks
Certainly,
again.
thank you very much.
All right, so we move on to our next item on our agenda. It's an item of old business. It's policies and procedures amendment to Exhibit A, Section 1. This is really just a clerical correction that, we amended the policies and procedures at our August 8th meeting. And as the officers were working on preparing the final version so I could sign it and we get it posted, we noticed that Exhibit A to the policies procedures in Section 1 continued to reference a $5,000 limit on expenditure authority for the executive director, whereas substantively in the actual policies and procedures, we had agreed as a commission to change that to $10,000. And we made those changes, change the $10,000 in the actual policies and procedures. We did that on August 8th. But we just left a straight reference to $5,000 in the exhibit. So it's a clerical oversight that needs to be corrected. Is there anyone who would make a motion to correct that reference to 5,000 to 10,000? So that way I can sign off on a final corrected version and we can be finished with that policies and procedures project.
Motion to approve.
Okay, thank you, Treasurer, for the motion. Is there a second?
Oh, second.
And Commissioner Rothini for the second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, the Secretary to call a roll.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph Dabney, Judge Tammy Lambert, Commissioner Hazel Mella, State Treasurer Laura Montoya,
Yes.
PRC designee Mackley Carroll, yes. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver or her designee Sharon Pino. Commissioner Robinson,
Commissioner Robinson might still be muted from when the executive director asked him to mute. Commissioner Robinson, are you there and muted? And if I recall correctly, Commissioner Robinson requested assistance with being muted, and he may need to request assistance to be unmuted. So we'll come back and call for Commissioner Robinson again at the end of the roll call in case he needs help being unmuted.
okay. Commissioner Raffini,
Yes.
okay. Commissioner Stone,
Yes.
Commissioner Traub, Vice Chair Williams,
Yes.
okay. Commissioner Anthony Umi,
Yes.
okay, let me just go back to see, is Commissioner Robinson, are you with us? Okay, no. And Chair West,
Yes.
okay. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 yes in favor of amending the policy and procedures from 5,000 to 10,000.
All right. Motion carries. Thank you for that, Mr. Secretary. So that takes us to the next item of business. It is the 2025 annual report, review and approval. The executive director previously presented the draft annual report to us at the annual meeting in June and pursuant to the bylaws, and also as required by the bylaws. We are now required to vote on this final approval since this is our last meeting before the December deadline. And it has been circulated to the commissioners. Is there any motion related to approval of the annual report?
I'd like to just make a couple comments, if that's okay first.
Absolutely, Madam Treasurer, recognized.
So I wrote down just a couple things I think that would be helpful to add to it. And I think we had discussed this before, so I might have just missed where it might be in the document. But the statutory portion on
next to their name and have the microphone with it. That means.
Oh, I'm sorry, Treasurer. I believe that Commissioner Robinson might be getting the assistance with unmuting right now. That's my guess. So I apologize for the interruption. No Commissioner Robinson, are you there?
Yes, I'm here and I'm unmuted. Sorry for the interruption, but I don't understand why I was muted. First of all, I need explanation on that.
I think I'll let the executive director speak to that request.
Commissioner Robinson, there was just some background noise and the request was made if you could mute.
Well, I didn't understand why I was muted, so that's why I'm asking the question. If there was background noise, I should have been informed of that, and then we could have took care of the background noise. Okay, I'm unmuted now. I'm unmuted now.
Okay, and Commissioner Robinson, you make a good point. So going forward, especially if it's a commissioner, we will not request a commissioner to mute, but we would just instead ask all the commissioners who are unmuted to be mindful of the background noise. But yeah, we definitely want you to be able to jump in and engage and speak and vote when you need to. So we will not ask you to mute and. But I think, I did hear a little background noise, so I understand why the exec director asked. But I think we have a good plan for moving forward. Commissioner Robinson, since you were muted, we did have that one vote, and we were asking if you wanted to vote on the policies and procedures amendment. Did you want to vote on that?
Yes.
Okay, how did you want to vote?
No.
Okay. So, Mr. Secretary, will you update your vote and report back to us what the new vote count is with Commissioner Robinson's vote?
Okay, yes, Chair. So the vote for amending the policy and procedures, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 yes and 1 no.
Okay, so motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Robinson. And with that, back to you, Treasurer, on the next item, which is the annual report. And I'm sorry that we interrupted what you were saying.
No problem at all. So I wanted to see if it was possible either in the section where the vision and the mission and the history are at, or on page 6, to put that little spill of how the commission is created, so that the regular New Mexicans know that some of us are on here by statute and some are appointed by different people, both on the House and the Senate, DNR and governor, because I think that shows there's a lot more of like a collective collaboration. And then if the pictures, I don't know if you have Canva, but the background of all the pictures could be the exact same. And then I think that Commissioner O'Connell is no longer the chairman, but I don't know what date he wasn't chairman anymore and if we need to put the new chairman. So I think that's a question for the secretary on that end. And then it looks like the order you're trying to go in is the leadership and then the ones that are constitutionally to be placed and then those that are appointed. And if that's a case, that I think the PRC is part of the statute, but I wasn't positive. So those were just a couple of the cleanup aspects. And then at the end, that contact information that is in blue right before the director's signature, but then it has her email address after, either putting all of that at the bottom, because it sounds like this is more like her letter, then put the contact afterwards so that it looks, her signature isn't on a page all by itself. And those were the only, I think, minor changes that I was hoping we could add in before we sent it out.
Sure. And I do think that Commissioner Aguilera is now the chair of the PRC. Secretary can correct me if I'm wrong, but that
Yes.
was my understanding. Okay. And so, and the PRC is ex officio by statute on the commission. So you're correct in that also, Treasurer. So those are very good points. I have a couple points as well, and we'll hear any other comments. Executive Director?
I have a question.
Sorry.
Oh, Treasurer.
Last thing
Treasurer.
I would say is that you have Judge Lambert, but Judge Lambert is there for Secretary Monette, correct?
She was appointed by Secretary Monette.
So I think Secretary, if we're going to be consistent, it's Secretary Monette that needs to be on there, and then Aguilar, or if you guys are putting the two appointees, then put just consistently whichever way you want to do it.
Okay, I understand. We'll give careful attention to that. Thank you for bringing it up, Executive Director.
If I can have some clarification on if this report is supposed to reflect who was a part of the commission for fiscal year 2025 or changes that were made.
I believe that it's going to be, needs to be accurate as of the time that we submitted.
So it could have our new vision and mission.
Yes, it needs to, yeah. And in fact, that relates to one of the suggestions that I'm gonna make is that we add a footnote in my letter, because I make reference to the fact that we are going to have a strategic plan. We just changed it to say we have approved a strategic plan, put the footnote, and we can go to the PDF that you excellently crafted and put on our website so people can see the strategic plan in a link.
My second question is, Madam Treasurer said to have continuity with, if we're gonna have the appointed and their designee, have everyone's appointed and designee, but it's my understanding that Judge Lambert isn't a designee.
That's correct. She is not a designee. She is an appointed member of Secretary Monette per statute. Secretary Monette can appoint, and in this instance, did appoint a Judge Lambert to the commission.
So then she doesn't need to be listed as a commissioner, or she does?
She is a commissioner, but not a designee. She is an actual commissioner,
Who?
Judge Lambert.
I'm talking about,
Secretary Monette is having made the designation, is, not a ex officio member, but she has exercised her statutory authority in the same
no,
way.
I understand,
Okay.
I understand that. I'm
Okay.
asking, because what the treasurer was saying
Yes.
is that to include her if she's a designee, so she's not a designee of Josette Monette, she's appointed by her.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So Judge Lambert is an appointed commissioner and not a designee. In the same way that Dr. Stone, Commissioner Umi, and Commissioner Rothini and myself all are, for examples. Commissioner Robinson.
And Chairman, I think that's exactly why it's important in the annual report to put the statutory part of what all of the makeup is of the board for people to know and it be fully transparent, because I wouldn't have said that if I knew for sure, but I didn't know. I know it's different and I knew she was there, but then I don't know if they're like the way I do Christine when I'm not here, but I know elected offices are different. So I wasn't sure, but I think it really is important to put it in our annual report, because this annual report is also used by all the LFC folks, the budget analyst folks, and then the legislators. And so it's an easy reminder for them to know what they did and why and how the makeup is. And then that led me to the part of, I know we updated right before the director came in a list of all of us and what date people started and who appointed them and then when their term ends. If we can have that updated list like on a regular basis, maybe quarterly, as part of our packet, just so we're aware, so that we can start as a commission preparing to make sure you always have a full commission and start talking to the folks that need to be spoken to update their portion. I think that would be important to do as well, or letting community members know or something like that.
Agreed, and I will say, and have talked to the executive director, about, creating an updated commissioner handbook that will have the roster and the role, the latest roster and the role updated in it. I'm hoping that the only reason why we have not done that already is, we wanted to make that correction on the policies and procedures, but now that we have updated bylaws, policy procedures, we have updated role, we have updated roster, all of it will find its way into an updated handbook. And we last had a updated handbook circulated to commissioners, I want to say at the February meeting. So it is definitely time to do an updated one, given the changes and updates and everything that has happened. And I know I've already talked with the executive director about that. So you're absolutely on point with the suggestion and very timely with it. And we'll make sure that we circulate that information soon.
So do we know, Chairman, if we're up to date or where we're at on our status? Moving into
date
the
with
next
regard to-
legislative session, with commissioners, like all positions are filled, all positions are for at least the next
Yes,
year, et cetera?
we have a full commission, I believe, at least until if my memory serves, at least until the end of 2026.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's right. But we'll circulate that information. Okay, so, any other questions, comments, suggestions on the annual report?
If no one else has one, I'll make a motion to approve with the changes discussed in today's meeting.
Okay, and if I may add to that, we have, I think, figured out that Dr. Melia may be our best proofreader on the commission, subject to a final proofread by Dr. Melia.
Yes.
And I see the treasurer nodding. Okay. All right. So that's the motion to approve with the changes discussed and subject to a final proofread by Dr. Melia. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Commissioner Umi seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, the secretary to call the roll.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph Dabney. Commissioner Judge Tammy Lambert. Commissioner Mella. State Treasurer Laura Montoya.
Yes.
Okay, PRC designee Mackley Carroll, yes. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse or her designee, Sharon Pino. Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Raffini.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Commissioner Stone. Yes. Commissioner Traub. Vice Chair Williams.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Commissioner Umi.
Yes.
Yes, and Chair West.
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7 yes. For the motion to approve the annual report, subject with the changes, and also subject to a final proofread by Dr. Mella.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. That takes us to the next item, which is the Executive Director's request for approval of Commission's participation in the Public Allies Program. And I know the Executive Director had addressed this in her report. Is there any motion related to approval for that?
I motion that we move forward to approve the executive director's request.
Okay, is there a second?
I second that.
Okay, the motion was from the Vice Chair and the second is from the Secretary. Is there any discussion on that motion?
Director, is this the item that was $20,000 or $30,000, depending on half-time or full-time, for somebody to come in and help out with MLK?
Yeah, so it's 20, I believe it's 21. I have the paper, one second. So for a full-time ally, it is $21,000 for their first term, so their first year. For their second year, it'd be $23,000. For a part-time ally, it is a $13,000 expense.
And so, Director and Chairman, is this just somebody that is working out of this school that comes in and helps you with whatever you need?
So it is, they prefer that they have a specific, their goals are aligned with the goals of the program, which is public service. So that I would envision them doing both some supporting of programming and administrative work, like front desk.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. And it's for the full school year or calendar year, fiscal year?
It's for the school year.
So for
Or 10
clarification,
months.
this
10 months.
semester?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they would be able to begin this semester.
Okay, and the full amount, I'm reading your pamphlet now, it's $21,000 per ally for full-time for the full semester.
For the full semester, I believe it's for their 10-month term.
10 months? And you already have it in your budget?
Yes. Well, we had in the budget before the contract come on for administrative, then we routed to DWS. Now we're routing to this.
So if I may, Treasurer, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
I know you have the floor, but it's to this point.
Mhm.
Okay, are we doing this then instead of the DWS or the other options, or is it an additional option?
So I will have our public allies serve as doing part supporting with programming, like outreach, if they're making calls, calling campaigns, et cetera, then also manning the front desk. In the event that we get people from the Department of Workforce Solutions, I will transition those people to be our administrative support, and then public allies could fully do outreach, coordinating, working with our stakeholders.
Are we in discussion period about this?
Yes.
May
Yes, go.
Are you familiar with CEC and public allies?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have recognized you. In fact, I shouldn't even ask my question because the treasurer has the floor.
Hey, Treasurer Montoya, you have the floor.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sorry, treasurer. Back to you.
The nerve of you.
Yeah, I know it.
Just one more question, because I'm reading your flyer, but in my brain, I need to make sure I'm right. So the full-time ally is $21,000 first term meaning a semester, right?
I believe the term is referring to their 10-month term.
And then second term?
That would be if we brought them back for their second 10-month term, it increases.
So we're paying them more for a second term than we would a first term?
Correct. If it's determined, we would take back that same ally for a second term.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Commissioner Rotini.
Besides Commissioner Stone and Executive Director Kervin, is anybody else familiar with this group? Okay. Well, okay, I am kind of familiar with the group. Just so y'all know, and I think it's a fantastic group, by the way. They do a lot of grassroots organizing with a whole spectrum of all kinds of people around Albuquerque. In the South Valley, in the North Valley, they do gardening. They are really a collective allyship that helps people who want to be political officials or activists or just community public service in general on their own time. And they it doesn't matter what you are. I've seen them even personally. I went with them to houses to help people with bagging sandwiches and so that just because they needed they need a little help. So they are a great program. I was just asking for clarification upon the Black thing.
All right. Any other questions, discussions, comments on the motion to approve participation in Public Allies Program? If not, I do have just one question for Executive Director. Will the rights, responsibilities, obligations of the parties, between the parties, the Commission, the Public Allies Program, with regard to the participant be spelled out, I suppose, by contract?
Yes, so we would have to engage in a contract to enter into the agreement with them. So we'll have our contract, that's the GSD template. We'll also have our agreement with them.
Okay, and I would just say, yeah, I could see that one, that contract being very important. In defining the relationship, who is an employer, who is responsible for doing what, for your purposes of executive director, but what we have to do as a commission, for public allies, responsibility, to be defined. So I would just suggest, that it be reviewed by council, because I can see that being an important one to get right. So with that, if there's no other discussions, questions, or comments, the secretary, wait a minute.
For clarification, what was the motion again? Was it for the 1 year part-time or full-time?
Let's see.
The motion did not include like full, it did not distinguish it. It just said to allow her request to participate with the program.
May I make a comment?
Executive director.
In the event that the suggestion is to have a more specific motion, I would like to request that I be given some flexibility to either do one person at full-time or two individuals at part-time.
Okay, and then for what term of time?
The 10-month. Well, we could, the 10-month.
10 months.
First term.
Okay, I think the vice chair has the floor, then we'll come back to you, Commissioner Stone. Vice chair.
Just made the motion. It's seconded. That's all.
Okay, did you want to put any specificity on your motion as to, the term and, okay.
Per her. Okay. Alrighty. So I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and proceed with the Executive Director Curvin's request to participate with the Pathways program and have flexibility in her hiring process for the term of the 10 months and provide us an update.
Okay, I think you already made your motion and it's been seconded and we're in discussion on your motion. So I think you would just amend the motion that you've made.
Okay, amended.
Okay. And
So-
did you specify in your amended motion the term of it and the if it's gonna be one full-time
Okay.
or two part-time to equivalent as one full-time?
Okay, I amend my motion, or my motion to reflect the request of the executive director to have at least two part-time people, or in the option to have one.
Okay,
Is that good?
So you're saying at least, is it one part-time, two
Well, she
part-time
wants the
or
flexibility.
one
Yeah, she wants
full-time?
the flexibility. Yeah.
One full-time or two part-time is up to two part-time as determined by the executive director?
Correct.
All right.
Can I
And
just
further-
mathematically, Chairman, just real quick before you guys approve that motion? If you're gonna do it for two part-time, you're better off just doing a full-time, because if not, you're paying an extra $6,000 for the same service.
Okay, let's go to, thank you for that, Treasurer. Let's go to Dr. Stone, then to the executive director.
Just wanted to provide some clarifications to your initial questions. So the cost for the first term, the 10 months, is $21,000 because they're considered entry-level capacity builders. The cost goes up $2,000 because they receive a little bit higher pay now for being an advanced capacity builder within Public Ally. So that's the $2,000 just gives them a little bit extra compensation throughout the year. It's been my understanding, although I haven't hired a public ally, I have had students who have been public allies, that sometimes you're at the mercy of the pool, right? And so we know, as you mentioned, that CFOs are hard to get. We don't know if it will be hard to get a 40-hour week full-time ally. We don't know what their pool looks like. And so I think it would be helpful if we, although I heard the cost of the $6,000 potential extra dollars, that we look at the flexibility of up to one full-time or up to two part-time. And then I just wanted to clarify that the contract is a co-constructed capacity building. So to build the capacity of your community organization, that is what, so So it's built with the student involved, with the public ally director, and with the, obviously, agency that they'll be assigned to.
All right, and executive director.
I think Commissioner Stone just touched on what I was gonna say, but I just, in the event that I can't find one student who can give me 40 hours a week, I think it would be easier to find two who can give me 25 hours a week.
Mhm. Okay, so then does this person who seconded the motion approve of the amendment that the vice chair stated?
Dale, is that you, Commissioner Umi? You seconded the vice chair's motion on that one? I thought maybe.
I think so.
Okay, do you approve of the amended motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The second approves of the amendment. So we have an amended motion, and I'm not hearing any further discussion. And with that, Secretary, please call the roll.
Okay, let me start from the top. Commissioner Joseph Dabney. Commissioner Judge Tammy Lambert. Commissioner Hazel Mella. State Treasury Laura Montoya.
Yes to the full-time or to part-time?
Okay. PRC designee, Commissioner Mackley Carroll. Yes, as well, to the full-time or the to part-time. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, or her designee, Commissioner Sharon Pino. Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
I'm sorry, I missed a point there. I need to ask a question before I vote. Is this program only for those folks living in Albuquerque? Or is it a statewide program?
Okay, so we'll pause the voting and then we'll go back to discussion. Executive Director, can you respond to Commissioner Robinson's question?
That's an excellent question. I am not sure if neighboring universities such as Eastern New Mexico, Highlands, Western New Mexico, or any others have community engagement centers or are participants in the Public Allies program.
Well, based on that, I'm gonna have to vote no against this because I think if this is limited to the one area, geographic area, and we have Lawrence State and we have other universities, I think that we should find out if they do have such. So I'm gonna vote against this, and even though it's a minority vote, I will vote no.
Well, the vote is not closed, Commissioner, so we don't know if it's going to be a minority vote or not. But I appreciate the comment and question. Is there any other questions or comments in discussion before we go back to voting?
All New Mexicans, regardless of affiliation to UNM, participate.
Oh, Commissioner Stone, can you, I want to make sure Commissioner Robinson heard what you said. Commissioner Robinson, did you hear what Commissioner Stone just said?
No, I did not.
The director, I just texted and asked, is it open just to UNM/Albuquerque affiliated? And her response was no, all New Mexicans, regardless of affiliation to UNM.
So anyone in the state of New Mexico can be involved and a part of the Public Allies program, even though UNM is facilitating it. Do I understand correctly?
Oh, I understand that based off of text.
Okay, that's what Dr. Stone understands too, based off the text you just received from the director of the Public Allies program. Commissioner Robinson, hopefully, do you have any questions about that? And she also says
that may be true, but this is the first I've heard of it. And so that means I need to contact EMU and see if they know if Student Affairs Department know anything of this. So I still feel like I will vote no until it's cleared up.
So Commissioner Robinson, Dr. Stone is going to ask the director if she works with other universities, but meanwhile, the director has texted Dr. Stone to say this year we have allies in Las Cruces, Santa Fe, and a tribal setting.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, so if we get
I vote yes, then. I vote yes.
Oh, okay, Commissioner, thank you for that. And then I guess Unless there's any other questions, comments, we'll go back to voting. Oh, Executive Director.
I just wanted to provide the comment that if, for right now, since I don't have the clerical support from the Department of Workforce Solutions program, I would need these people on site. So in the event that those selected are not from outside of Albuquerque, that is the reason why. If they can't relocate.
Oh, okay, so there is some consideration too for, work location and availability. But still, somebody can be from another part of the state, but, happen to be in Albuquerque and able to help. So, any other questions, comments, discussions on this point? Otherwise, we'll go back and reopen the vote and continue. Hearing none, the secretary to continue with the roll call, starting with Commissioner Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Feeney. Commissioner Feeney. Has he stepped out? Okay, Commissioner Brandy Stone.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Traub. Vice Chair Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner Anthony Umi.
Yes.
And
And
before you
Chair
call
Little
me,
V. West.
before you call me, let's just ask if anyone who has already voted, before we resume the vote, would like to change their vote.
Okay, Chair. Is there anyone who would like to change their vote?
I don't hear any changes, and I vote yes. So
Okay.
what do you have for a tally, Mr. Secretary?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yes. 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion carries. And we move on to the next item on our agenda, which is item 13. I recognize the vice chair for a motion related to item 13. Vice Chair, could you make a motion related to move into closed session?
Yes, I make a motion. Oh, see, I can't even see.
Item
it right now.
11 or item 12.
Can y'all roll it back?
I think, was item 12 the public outlines?
Oh, yeah.
Public outlines. So item 13 is the action to convene in closed session. That's where we are. Item 13.
So I make a motion that we convene into a closed session to discuss and consider limited personnel matters, specifically including executive director performance, evaluation, and compensation pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, NMSA 1978, Section 1015 1H2, and attorney-client privilege discussions.
Second the motion.
Okay. Was the vice chair finished with her motion? Just, I think she was telling a little bit more about the attorney-client privilege discussion.
Let me see, because it was on there. I don't have the agenda in front of me. I was reading off of the screen that was shared and I can't see it anymore.
How about if I read, you want me to read it out, the rest of it, and then you
Yes,
can
sir.
let me know. Attorney-client privilege discussion and matters pertaining to pending litigation, including Leonard Waits versus Martin Luther King Jr. State Commission, Jennifer V. Hill and Teresa Casados, case number D 202 CV 2025-06946, pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, NMSA 1978, Section 1015-1H7.
Second the motion.
Okay, the motion is from the vice chair and seconded by State Treasurer. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I would excuse myself from the executive session. This is Commissioner Robinson.
Oh, okay.
For the closed section.
Okay, you recuse, and so with that recusal, thank you, Commissioner. We will wait for Commissioner Ruthini to return to make sure that when we vote on this motion, we have a quorum. So we'll take we'll be at ease until Commissioner Ruthini returns.
Go with her.
Mr. Chairman, point of clarification. So
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Robinson can vote to go into executive session, correct? He's just saying he's not going to be able to stay in executive session.
Yes, I
Commissioner
can vote to go into session, but I won't I can vote to stay out.
And therefore
Okay.
we have a quorum.
Okay, understood. In that case, thank you for the clarification, from both of you. Appreciate that. It's the secretary to call the roll.
Okay, so this is the roll for action to convene in closed session. Commissioner Joseph Dabney, Commissioner Judge Tammy Lambert, Commissioner Hazel Mella, State Treasurer Laura Montoya.
Yes.
Yes. PRC designee Matthew Carroll. Yes. Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver or her designee Sharon Pino. Commissioner Oscar Robinson.
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Raffini, this is the vote for action to convene in closed session.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Commissioner Brandy Stone.
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Traub. Vice Chair Constance Williams.
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Anthony Umi.
Yes.
Yes. And Chair Little West.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 yes to go into closed session.
Okay, so with that, we are in closed session and we'll ask anyone who is not a member of the commission to please excuse themselves.
I need to speak up.
Online. I can just confirm that we are publicly streaming and recording.
Yes.
Okay, so, we're on to now to item 15 of our agenda, which is, any action required as a result of the, or we could, take action required as a result of the closed meeting, but we don't have any. So we don't need to take any action related to item number 15. As to item number 16, informational items only. I could just let the members know and the public know that our next meeting is January 28th, 2026 at 11 o'clock a.m. After that, we have a regular meeting March 18th, 2026 at 11 o'clock a.m. And then after that, June 26th, regular meeting at 11 a.m. Any other informational items from commissioners? Commissioner Umi?
I was just wondering, we don't need another meeting before Dream Week?
Um,
I'm just curious.
if the executive director should, let us know that she requires that, we'll have a special meeting.
There you go.
Yeah, but we don't have a regular meeting planned before
Okay.
Dream Week.
Yes.
All right?
Just knowing that she could call one if necessary.
If she needs one, we'll call it.
Thank you.
All right? Executive director.
I just want to share that ISD services is a DeWitt, so technology
All right,
charge.
IT related.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you for,
So it's not income support division.
No.
Giving out food stamps though.
no, it's just, IT.
Okay.
Okay, so, any other informational items only? Hearing none, that takes us to adjournment, and without objection, we'll be adjourned at, approximately 1:47 p.m.